In this video, we will understand how you can enter exam scores information in bulk for the students of any batch in Fedena. Now first, let's understand what is the plugin that will help us do that. The custom imports plugin will help the institutions import employee, student, and institutional data into Fedena using a comma separated value, that is a CSV formatted file. This plugin will also help you save time by alleviating manual data entry tasks and will also reduce the chances of error, allowing you to work with greater accuracy. When you are performing this custom import, if the Fedena's SMS setting is configured, an SMS notification is sent to the corresponding user whose information is being imported in Fedena. In case of the video, which is about entering exam score information of the student, since we are just entering the examination score, SMS notification is not applicable. Now, in this video, we will see how we can enter the exam scores. Let's understand for what all examination patterns you will be able to enter this exam score information. You can enter for normal grading system. You can enter the marks for CWA and GPA grading system. For CCE, you will be able to enter SA score, which is the summative assessment scores for the student. And for ICSE, you will be able to enter EA scores, which is the external assessment scores. So these all that you see, you will be able to upload them using bulk upload. That is using custom import plugin. Let's see what are the steps that you should follow for doing this bulk upload. The first one is going to data and reports custom import. Here you have to click on new to say the model type. The model here denotes the type of action that you want to take for importing data in bulk. For example, in this case, we want to enter the exam score information, so we will select the model to be examination score. In this video, we are focusing on entering exam scores for all these grading system types. We have separate videos explaining the other models as well. Now here we can give some name. For example, exam info to be the name of the model. Now you will see that a row is created here. This is the latest one. And on clicking on export CSV, you can find that file into the system. This is an empty file that you will see. This file will only have the header information using which you can fill in the file. You can see the first row. It asks for name of the exam group, the batch of the student for which you are doing the score entering, the subject code for which you are doing the score entry, admission number of the student for whom you are entering the score, the marks of the student, grading level, remarks if any. So these are the header information that you see, and in the rows you have to enter this information. At a time, in an upload, you can put up to 200 rows, meaning that if you are uploading this sheet, it can have up to 200 rows at once. You can perform this upload multiple times then based on number of information or number of rows that you have. Now, let's take this example, fill in the sheet and upload the same into Fedena. Let's see the exam group name. So here I will take all these examples for all the grading system and add a row for each. Now we will see a batch that follows normal grading system first. To say the grading level that the batch follows, I will go to administration, settings, manage course batch. Here I can click on manage course and here let's say grade 4. So here for grade 4, we will click on edit and we'll be able to see that it follows normal grading system. So now I will copy this grade information, that is the batch name, and paste it in the sheet. That denotes that I want to enter the batch information, the exam score information of a student who belongs to this batch. Now, in this batch, I must have created an exam group. That means before you start doing the custom import, you should have created the exam groups and scheduled the exam. You should also have published the exam schedule. Now, We are entering these scores, meaning that the teachers have entered the marks for the students and now they want to upload it in the system. So they can use this way to upload the marks, or they can also use Fedena user interface. Let's see how Fedena user interface can be used. We will go to examination and here exam management. Here we will select the batch which is grade 4, and we've already created examination 2 terms for this batch. So this setting should must have been already done. And here on going to manage exam, we can see that here for the subject marks entry is not yet done. So we are going to enter the marks for this subject for, let's say, S96 student. So here S96, I will paste the student admission number here, and here subject code. So for which subject are we entering these marks? It is subject 1 of grade 4. So again, I will go to manage subject to check the codes. Also, I can check the codes by going to data and reports. So here I have the information about subject details. I will select grade 4 and search for it, and here I get to see the code. So S1 is the code which I will paste here. And group name is term 1, the same as what we saw. So if you see here, when I go to examination and exam management, I can select the batch and manage exams. It shows term 1 and term 2. So exam group name exactly the same that you see here. You can do the marks entry for both the terms or for a single term as per what is required. Now the marks that actually the student scores has to be entered here. So now you can see we filled in one row. It says the exam group name is term 1. The student belongs to this batch, and this is the admission number of the student, and these are the marks that he has scored for S1 subject. Now grading level, it may not be entered. It is not a mandatory field. It is optional. If you leave it blank, it will take as per the settings that you have done in set grading levels. So if you see here, in settings we have set here grading levels. So according to this, it will automatically reflect. You need not enter a value here. Remarks can be put in by the teacher like this, but this is optional field. So the fields A through E are mandatory. The fields F and G are optional. Now this I have filled in for a batch that follows normal grading system. Let's take example of a batch that follows GPA grading system now. So here let's see that batch. Again, we have to go to manage course batch. We will click on manage course. This is the batch. Let's see. I'll click on edit and it follows GPA. So now I will copy the batch name of this batch. This is the one, so I can paste it in the sheet like this, and the subject code and the term for which I want to enter marks in this batch. So again, I will go to examination, exam management, select this batch, and I can see that it has 2 exam groups. It has again term 1 and term 2. I will click on manage exams, and here I can see that term 1 is the exam group name. So I can write here term 1, and the subject for which I want to enter marks is intro to fashion. It doesn't have any marks. This is, let's say this is the student. So you can enter like this for all the students. I'm just taking example of one student in each grading, in each batch. So here I will give the name, number of the student, the subject for which we just entered marks. So intro to fashion. Again, I'll have to check the subject info. So I will go to settings here and check the code of the subject. And for this one, searching it, I see it is IF. I will copy this and paste it here. So we have putting the subject code and not the name of the subject, because the code identifies the subject uniquely. Then the marks of the student for the subject, let's say it is 70. Grading level, we can leave it blank, or if you want to override, give a value, we can mention that. And remarks can be left or they can be filled in. Like this, let's do for the third one, which is CWA. So let's take example of a batch that follows CWA. We will go to manage course and let's see the batch that follows CWA. So grade 5 is the one. I will copy the batch name and find a student in grade 5 for whom I want to enter the marks. So let's go to exam management first and check for grade 5 what all exams are. The exam schedule is published. So here for, let's say for term 1 again, I can see here that for subject 1, marks entry is not done. So let's do marks entry for this student. It can be done for all the students of the batch. So I will paste this here. For, again for term 1, because the exam group name is same, if you see here, and the batch name we have pasted for the subject, which is subject 1. Again, to check the code, I will go to the subject report and select grade 5, and here I can see it is S1. So I will copy this, paste it here. And this is how we have to enter the marks also. Let's say it is 80, and we can enter other information also here. Now let's fill in for CCE grading system following batch. For CCE, you can only enter essay score of the students for any term, term 1 or term 2. FA scores have and the co-scholastic result entry has to be done through Fedena user interface. So currently we do not have option to upload bulk data for FA scores or co-scholastic result. So now let me show you how you can enter the FA score information. To do that, again here we will enter the, let's see the batch that follows CCE first of all. We will go to manage course, and here let's see if grade 6 follows CCE. So grade 6. So we can copy the batch name of grade 6 and paste it in this sheet. And here the student, now we want to put exam information for a student. So we will search the student here. Again, we'll go to exam management and grade 6. And here we have term 1. So we'll go to manage exam. You can see here that it has 3 subjects. And let's take it for term 2. I have done result entry for term 1. Let's take it for term 2 here, manage exams. So here I have subject 1, so it is empty right now. So again, I can take S103 as a student for whom I want the marks to be entered. And the subject code, again, let's see for grade 6 what subjects we have. We are entering for subject 1, so it is S1. I will copy this and paste it here. Now, please ensure that there are no extra spaces. So like I had one here, it should be removed. No extra spaces after or before the word. And exam group name, I want to enter it for term 2. So that's why it is term 2 for grade 6. Because term 1 already has some marks for the student. Now, marks, the exact marks, let's say it is 60. Now this is the essay score that you are entering. So here in the interface you enter the essay information here. FA score has to be entered from the user interface only. You cannot use Excel sheet to upload it. So here we are filling in this information right now for a single student. The same you can copy here and put it, just change the admission number here. So right now I'm just showing you as an example. Now let's fill in for the last one, of which is ICSE following batch. Again, we'll go to manage course. Let's check grade 8 here. So grade 8 follows ICSE. We will copy the name of the batch, put it in the sheet. And here again we'll have to see for which student we want to enter the exam information. So we will go to exam management, grade 8. And here we will select, let's say term 2, and the first subject English literature. For S116, let's say we want to enter the EA marks. So IA score you cannot enter using the Excel sheet. You can only enter the EA score currently in Fedena. For IA score you have to use the user interface in Fedena only. So I will copy this S116 information and paste it here. The subject for which I'm entering the marks is English literature. So let's check that code for English literature. It is here ENG space LIT. So we will copy the same and paste it in the sheet like this. And now here for which term? So this was term 2 for which I want to enter the marks. What are the marks? 40. And we can give some, this is optional, but we can give some score. Now, here you can see that I filled in this sheet one showing you for each grading system type. So this first one is normal. The second one is GPA. The third one is CWA. Fourth one is CCE, summative assessment score. Fifth one is ICSE, external assessment score. So this is what you can do using exam score, bulk upload. Now let's upload it. Currently we filled in this sheet. Like this, you can have a lot of rows here. So right now I've just showed you for one student in each batch. You can put it for all the students in each batch. So this file size will increase. You can put up to 200 rows at a time. You can upload up to 200 rows at a time. So you can break, if you have more than 200 rows to put in, you can break it into separate sheets and put keep on uploading it. So let's see how to upload it. To upload this file, first I will save it. So here I will save this file. Now to upload it, I will go to data and reports and custom import. Here in front of this model that I just created and I exported that empty sheet which I just filled in, I will click on import data. Import data is an option that is used when you want to import fresh data, fresh exam scores into Fedena. So now you will also see that when you click on upload, it shows you this message. This message denotes that it will take some time for this information to get reflected in the system. That means for these scores to get attached to the student, it will take some time, and it is a scheduled job. So you can check the status of the scheduled job by clicking on click here. And when you refresh the screen, after a while, you will realize that here status changes from in queue to running, denoting that the action is taking place, and after it is completed running, this row will disappear from here. That means that you can check the status of the Excel sheet now. So once it is done, I will show you how to check the status of each row, whether it was uploaded successfully or was there an error. Now let's check the status. So we can see that the job is completed. And to check the status of each row, you have to click on this option in front of the import that you just did. So this imports option. When you click on it, you will see the status to be either success or completed with errors. If it says completed with errors, you can check the status of each row by clicking on this option, which is import log details. And in front of the row number which had error, it will show you the description. You can change the Excel sheet as per the description and upload the same again using this option of import data. So you can perform multiple upload for a sheet which has not been uploaded properly. Now, for us it says success. So let's check the same. Here, let's check for normal examination first. So here I'll go to exam management, select grade 4, manage exams, open term 1 and select the subject for which we just did the data entry. So this is the marks that I had put in. Let me open that Excel sheet as well. So these are the marks that you see, which I have put in for grade 4. And these are the remarks. Grade automatically comes. Remarks I have filled in for the first one, so it shows here. So 99 was the marks. Let's see for the second one, which is Diploma in Fashion Design Semester 2. So this is for GPA. Here we can again open term 1 and the first subject. We can see that it is 70. This is the field that we have filled in. We did not give any remarks, so it does not show the same here. Now the next one is G5, which is CWA. So we will go to exam management and select grade 5. Again, this is for term 1 for the first subject, subject 1. And we can see that the marks are 80 along with remarks. So this is the one. The next one is CCE, Summative Assessment Score. So let's see grade 6. So grade 6 follows CCE and we are entering the summative assessment score using the sheet. So here we will open subject 1. So it is for term 2. The data entry that we did is for term 2. So let's check term 2. and subject 1, so it is 60. So we can check that here. The last one is for ICSE external exam score. So I will select grade 8, and again for term 2, the subject 1, English literature. So here it is 40, and this is the remarks. So this is how you will be able to enter the marks using Excel sheet in a bulk for any batch following any grading system. But there is restriction in CCE and ICSE that you can only put in summative assessment score and external assessment score respectively. Now let us say for this student for whom we've entered the marks to be 40 using this bulk import, we have entered it wrongly. That means we want to edit or update the marks of the student or the remarks of the student for which we have already done the marks entry. That can happen for multiple rows in this file. If that is the case, you can open the same file again, update the marks here. For example, instead of 40, the student has obtained 45. So we need to update the marks of the student as 45. If you want to change the remarks, we can do that as well. So in this sheet, you will be able to update marks, grading level, and remarks columns. Other columns will remain as is. You should not change them when you are doing an update. Now, like this, we can update for other fields as well. Now, once we have done this change, we are going to upload it into the system. So we will again go to custom import, and in front of the model, we will see this option of bulk edit. We will not be using import data option when we are doing an update. When we are performing update of the data that is already there in the system, we should use the bulk edit option. We will click on this. It will ask us to choose the file that we just saved. So let's just save this file, and now we will be uploading it. So this is the one, and we can upload. So we have done change and we have uploaded the file. We've used bulk edit option. So we can check the schedule job. It says the status is in queue. We will refresh the browser to see the status. If this row is no longer here, that denotes that the job is completed. So now we'll wait for this job to be completed, and then we will see the update if it is done. Now when we refresh the screen, we can see that the job is completed. The same way we saw for import data, we can check in imports the status. So it says updated. So there was no error. If there is an error, you can further click on import log details, and it will show you the description which can be corrected in the sheet and uploaded again. Now let's see for the student for whom we updated the marks. It was for this batch, which is grade 8, which is term 2 and the first subject. So we have changed the marks from 40 to 45, and the updated marks are reflected here. So this is how you will be able to perform upload of new data, that is new exam score information, using the import data option, and update of existing exam score information using the bulk edit option. So this is how you will be able to enter examination score for the grading systems that you see here.